afternoon and welcome to Brewing. I'm your host. My name's Scott Leffler, and damn, I start the show without coffee. Fortunately, I'm in the kitchen today with Dinah. I don't know who Dinah is, but she is in the kitchen, I know. Alright, so we are going to discuss last night's debate because really, is there anything else going on in the world? Not really, not much. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I know that I want you to tweet me during the show. You can tweet me live at Scott Leffler right on the Twitter, and it will get to me, and then I can see, hey, what's going on in the world? So that'll be fun, and we can talk back and forth. All right, I'm sure that most of you, if you're watching this show, considering the political bent that I tend to take, I'm sure that most of you watched last night's debate. Now, of course, as with any debate, now that's really hot. Damn it. Not any debate, most debates. Liberals say that Obama won, right? Conservatives say that Romney won. It seems like this happens every debate. Now, I am a liberal conservative. I am a radical centrist, I like to tell people. I'm a registered libertarian, and I will not vote for either of these yahoos that were on stage last night. In fact, last night, if nothing else, proved to me the incredible similarities between the Republican presidential candidate and Democratic presidential candidate. They're pretty much the same guy, except one of them's in office now and one of them just wants to be in office. The number of times that they said, oh, I agree with this, I agree with this. And on the differences, they were so minor, they were so pointless that, I don't know. On foreign policy, the two major parties in this country basically have this plan. We're going to go out and colonize the world. Now, they don't call it that, of course. They pretend it's something else. They talk about spreading freedom. Except, you can't spread freedom at the end of a barrel of a gun. And you can't spread freedom with a bayonet. You can't do, you can't force, I don't know. The whole thought of spreading freedom is just frustrating. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. Personally, my foreign policy is that we come home. I want our troops home. I want our people home. We can still have consulates and what have you. I guess if we need them, do we really need an American consulate though in Morocco? I don't know that we do. If something's going on in Morocco, there's planes and shit. We can just fly there. In fact, we'll get to the lines from last night because. To me, look, all right, so Democrats are like, oh, Obama won, and Republicans are like, oh, Romney kicked his ass. I don't know what debate it is that Republicans were watching, because Romney did not kick his ass. And in fact, all of the instant polling that happened after the debates by undecided voters and moderates and etc., they all say that Obama won. Now, by what degree is a matter of question, but there's not much question from what I could tell that Barack Obama won last night's debate. And so immediately afterwards, the party that knows that they lost, they start complaining about something completely unrelated. In the previous debate, it was the moderator. Oh, the moderator was horrible. Candy Crowley or whatever the hell her name is. That was the comment, was that the moderator was horrible, she was in cahoots with Obama. As soon as you hear somebody start to complain about the moderator, that is a sheer sign that they acknowledge that they lost. All right? Last night, the sign was that Republicans on social media that I saw at least were complaining about the style that Barack Obama was dismissive and he was rude and Mitt Romney's talking about his plan and Barack Obama was talking about Mitt Romney. Except no, I don't even. That's a word I'm not saying on this show. I don't even. Sorry. When it comes to domestic and foreign policy, from what I can tell, and look, whatever, this is his plan and this is his plan, but from what I can tell, Mitt Romney has a one-point plan. He keeps talking about, I've got this 5-point process, I've got this 27-point process, I've got binders full of processes. He's got one plan. Get elected, and then figure out what the hell to do after that. And it's no different on domestic affairs than it is on foreign affairs. Basically, I don't think Mitt Romney has a clue what he wants to do. He just knows that he doesn't want Barack Obama to do it. And again, it was clear when it came to foreign policy last night because for the most part, these guys agree. I agree with everything Barack Obama says, except I would do it differently because I'm not Barack Obama. And that's the policy would be the same. So as much as it appeared that the president really wiped the mat with Mitt Romney, it's funny because in terms of substance, they were primarily the same. Now, this was, in my opinion, very closely... Look, there have been debates in the past that have gone, they've really come back to haunt one candidate or another. 92, George Bush looking at his watch. Jimmy Carter in 1980. I mean, he looked... When Ronald Reagan threw out the "Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago" line, Jimmy Carter's in the back going, shit, the only person in this room that's better off than they were 4 years ago is me because I'm president. And you could see it in his eyes. And boom, Carter, done. A lot of other reasons that Carter, lost so poorly in that debate, or not in that debate, but in that campaign. But that debate sure as hell didn't help. Kennedy-Nixon. Look, Kennedy-Nixon that's the go-to one, right? Because John F. Kennedy was all tall and presidential, and he looked good because he's John F. Kennedy, and he was hot, and the women wanted him. Whatever, I don't know. I don't have anything for John F. Kennedy, but whatever. But I guess if it's between him and Nixon, I'll take JFK. Nixon, on the other hand, looked disheveled. He kind of looked like I look right now, badly in need of a haircut. Why does it seem like I always need a haircut? I'm always in need of a haircut. I don't know why. But if I were going to go on a debate, I would get my hair cut first. Mitt Romney last night, he looked tired, he looked confused, his face got all red. Somebody mentioned that there was like sweat on his upper brow. I didn't see that, whatever. I think that was just an homage to the JFK-Nixon thing. But I don't want to say that he looked ill, but he didn't look well. And I will not be surprised if we hear in the next couple days that one of the excuses that he didn't perform well is because he has the flu or something like that. Although maybe you don't want to say that he has the flu 2 weeks before the election because, that might cause people to question his overall health, which obviously you don't want. And the election is so tight that you can't have anybody question anything right now. So maybe they just need to suck it up and say, all right, we lost. Although they won't admit that they lost because the Republicans are still going, oh, our guy won. Look, when it comes to foreign policy, Mitt Romney looked like he had no clue in comparison to Barack Obama. Again, I don't like either one of these guys' foreign policies because their foreign policy is to go out and cultivate the rest of the world and make them little Americas. My personal belief is that we need to fix America and then maybe worry about the rest of the world. Obama, at times, though, looked snarky. He more than confident. He appeared overconfident. He really did appear like snarky, like almost rude at times. And I think that a lot of people could have a problem with that. I can see some independent voters. I can see some undecided people. And why are people undecided? We'll get to that in a minute. I can see some undecided voters going, I really don't like that tone. But at the same time, a lot of people seem to like that. A lot of people confuse confidence with assholishness. A lot of people, look, this is the reason that girls date assholes, all right, is because they appear confident, and they keep dating the same guy over and over and over again. They go, why can't I find a nice guy? Well, it's because you keep going for these assholes. And Barack Obama was a bit, at times, asshole-ish last night. How many times can I say asshole in this show? I'm not really sure. I hope that your kids are not watching today, because I almost dropped an F-bomb and then Anyway, back to the debate. So, early on in the debate, they were talking about foreign policy, and it's funny the amount of times they veered from foreign policy to talk about domestic policy, because I think they know foreign policy, we're pretty much the same. Let's talk about areas where we differ. But the president said something to Mitt Romney about, you said recently that our biggest global threat was Russia. The 1980s called, they want their foreign policy back. It was funny. I LOL'd. I literally laughed out loud watching the debate. And I tweeted it, and etc. Follow my tweets on Twitter, at Scott Leffler, where you can also tweet me, and I will get them during the show. So, the president had this comment, the 1980s called, they want their foreign policy back. A lot of people loved it, but at the same time, it's kitschy, it's gimmicky, it's yes, it's a zinger, right? But does zingers really do any good? Did zingers do us any good in the Cold War? Did zingers do us any good? Have zingers done us any good trying to get out of this economic crisis that we're in? Have zingers done us any good in the war on terror? No, they're zingers. It's like a guy like trying to impress somebody. Like, oh yeah, so's your mom. It was basically so's your mom, right? So's your face. So you're stupid. Yes, it was funny, but it was completely lacking substance. Now, there was one zinger that did have some substance to it, and it's funny because it's a matter of great debate today on the interwebs. Mitt Romney was discussing the fact that we have less ships, less boats in the Navy than we've had in decades or whatever, to which the president responded that this just shows that Mitt Romney doesn't get how the military works now. He said, we also used to have more horses and bayonets, or we also now have less horses and bayonets, whatever. But this was another thing that people really jumped on as well, because it's a funny line. He also said, we have aircraft carriers and planes land on them, and we got these boats that go underwater. They're called submarines, and some of them are nuclear powered. And he was really dismissive, really treated Mitt Romney as though Mitt Romney were a child. And yes, for some people that may be a display of power. I just thought it came across as assholishness, again, with the A word. But that's how it came across to me. It was funny. I liked it in the moment. Looking back on it, I didn't think it was presidential. So I wonder how many people changed their mind today as compared to yesterday. Did you think last night that one candidate did better, and now looking back, you're like, I don't know. I still think that Obama owned it. And I still think that a lot of people will believe that. But I think that there are going to be some people today that will look back and go, that was just kind of dumb. That wasn't leadership. That was, high school quarterback. And if you were a high school quarterback, my apologies, but no, not really. How's your Camaro? Sorry, see, that's me being an asshole. I can do that at times. I don't really care. Because I'm not running for president. I don't care if people like me or not. Like me, hate me, I don't care. Watch the show. That's always been my mantra. When I was in radio, like me, hate me, I don't care. There was a study done, a decade ago or so, about Howard Stern, that people that love him listen to him 6 hours a week, and people that hate him listen to him 8 hours a week, or something along those lines. So I don't care whether you like me or hate me, I'm not running for president. But if you are running for president, you should want people to like you, and you should not come across in that manner, in my personal opinion. Now, back to this whole horses and bayonets thing. So he throws out this line, and the internet's like, whoa, LOL, rolling on the floor, laughing, and all that fun stuff. And then immediately, conservatives are like, we still use horses and bayonets, and the president wouldn't know that because he has complete disdain for the military. In the Marines, they all have bayonets, and there's horses in this. And look, dudes, conservative types, he never said we don't have horses and bayonets. He said we used to have more. I understand that maybe your grasp of the English language is not up to par with the liberal elites, but most people get the concept of more and less. All right, most adults, most people who should vote, who do vote, should be able to comprehend the difference between more and less. So when he said we used to have more horses and bayonets, or we now have less horses and bayonets, again, I don't remember which one it was. The fact that people were like, we still do have horses and bayonets. Did you listen to the debate? Did you actually watch it, or are you just regurgitating shit on Twitter? Because you're watching Brewing. My name's Scott Leffler. My coffee's cooled down, so I can drink now. So I still feel as though Barack Obama won, and he did really, really well. Conservatives have latched on to this point that we still have horses and bayonets, and it's very frustrating from my standpoint to see people bastardize what was actually said. And that happens all the time. You take something and you go, oh, well, he said this, and it was slightly different than what he really said. Then you take what you want him to have said and you run with it. And look, if that's your campaign, conservatives, you're still in trouble. Now, the polls, Nate Silver says last night that basically Obama's probably not going to get much of a bump, but he may get one, and however minuscule of a bump that he gets is going to help him a lot. Right now, according to 538blog.newyorktimes.com or whatever it is, according to Nate Silver's website, the president has a 70% chance of winning the election, and he's leading the Electoral College 290 electoral votes to whatever Romney has left plus the difference. Only needs 270. So the fact that he's at 290, he's looking good right now. And any bump he gets is going to help, especially in swing states, because most states are already decided. Texas is Republican, California is Democrat, New York is Democrat. We discussed this yesterday. So most states are already decided. So the swing states are really important. Ohio. There's a 50-50 chance, I don't remember where I saw this, but I saw this morning while doing show prep. There's a 50-50 chance that the election will come down to Ohio. One state will rule them all. Good for Ohio. And I mean, actually, it isn't that horrible to think that it would come down to Ohio, because Ohio is a nice microcosm of America. There's a liberal Ohio, there's a conservative Ohio, there's manufacturing, and there's a financial sector. It makes sense to a degree that it would come down to Ohio. So we'll see. But any bump that the president gets is going to help a lot. I said he has a 70% chance of winning. According to Nate Silver, if he gets a half-point bump in the popular vote, half of a percentage point, that goes up to 75. If he gets a 1 percentage point bump, that goes up to 80. And if he gets a 2 percentage point bump, that goes up to 85. So if he goes up 2 percentage points, he will have an 85% chance of winning come November 6th. Now, if the election were held today, he would win. But there's still 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, we vote. I want you to vote, by the way. Well, no. If you're up on, if you know what you're doing, vote. Don't vote because some guy on YouTube told you to vote. And don't vote how some guy on YouTube told you to vote. Because, look, odds are, overwhelmingly, that you and I are going to vote for different people, right? So, I don't care who you vote for, but vote your conscience. If you like Mitt Romney and you like his policies, vote for Mitt Romney. If you like Barack Obama and you like his policies, vote for Barack Obama. But if you don't like either one of them, find somebody else. That's what I did. And I'm wasting my vote, but I'm not. I'm voting my conscience. I'm doing what I think I need to do to sleep well at night. Although I never sleep well at night, it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's all coffee. Coffee. That's not true. I drink coffee all day and all night, and it doesn't really prevent me from sleeping. All right, so I have one more thing that I want to talk about today, and then we'll sign off. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to talk about Mitt Romney. If Mitt Romney wins, believe it or not, if Mitt Romney wins the presidency, he will not be the richest president of the United States ever. You believe that? There was one president who was richer, more wealthy than Mitt Romney is. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. And people didn't hate him. Alright, so like this whole notion that like Mitt Romney can't be president because he's too rich and he doesn't understand us, which I believe he doesn't understand us, but I don't think he has to understand us. Look, here's the deal. I love the idea of having a president that I can have a beer with. But at the same time, I want a smart guy who's going to look out for the well-being of the country as a whole, and not necessarily me. Because I feel that if the country as a whole does well, I will do well as well. Now, that doesn't mean trickle-down economics. That doesn't mean give the wealthy people more money and they'll, give us scrap jobs. But I really want someone who's going to help the country as a whole. I don't know. We'll talk more about that later. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow, unless something happens between today and tomorrow I want to talk about this whole richest president ever thing, because it was believed at one point that Mitt Romney was, he's going to be the richest president ever if he wins, and how horribly out of touch he is, and blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk about who the richest president ever was. And don't Google it. Do me a favor, don't Google it. Let this be a surprise, because it'll be fun. I promise it'll be fun. And but look forward to it. Look forward to it when you come back and watch the show tomorrow. So I want to end, though, with the degradation of communication in the nation. I'm Jesse Jackson or something here. Ann Coulter, did you see this? Look, I realize I've said the word asshole, I think a dozen times now on the show. And it's a bad word, right? I would say it in front of my kids. But I wouldn't say it in front of younger kids. It's not a word that I used when my kids were, 6 or 7 or 8. They're 12 and 15 now. I'd say whatever the hell I want to. So, asshole is a bad word. But it's not offensive to me. And I don't think it's offensive to most people. I think most people think, whatever. You'd be surprised if you heard it on the news. But not surprised if you heard it at a bar, or even at work for that matter. However, there are some words that are still offensive to me. And Ann Coulter used one in a tweet last night after the debate. Basically, rather than conceding the debate and saying Romney looked weak and Barack Obama looked strong, she tweeted that basically Romney went easy on Barack Obama. Except her wording was horrible. I don't understand why this woman has fans, to be honest with you, because she's divisive, she's derisive, I want to say she's not a good person. I really feel like she's just not a good person, because a good person wouldn't say this, in my opinion. Ann Coulter's tweet, and forgive me, this is not my point of view. This is not something I would normally say. There is a word in this that I almost dropped an F-bomb earlier. I would rather drop F-bombs than use this word. All right? Ann Coulter's tweet last night following the debate, and I quote, "I highly approve of Romney's decision to be kind and gentle to the retard." I don't understand how anyone with a smidgen of compassion could say something like that. Because here's the thing, she's not just dismissing Barack Obama here. This is meant to be a dig at Barack Obama. But really, it's dismissive of anyone who has any form of mental retardation. It's dismissive of anyone with children who have learning disabilities. It's dismissive of a large swath of the population. It's not 47% dismissive, but it's still dismissive of and look, this is, I may agree with some Republican policies, but I could never be a Republican because this is the shit that they do. Right? They'll make comments. Don't hold this next 30 seconds against me, please. They'll make comments about retards, and they'll make comments about faggots, and they'll make comments about queers, and they'll make comments about cripples, and they'll anybody who's different in any way, shape, or form. I don't see. This is the difference for me between the Republicans and the Democrats, right? I don't like either party, but I tolerate the Democratic Party a little bit more because they don't do this shit. And Ann Coulter, why not just drop an N-bomb there, Ann? I mean, really. It's the same basic thing, in my opinion. You can't You can't do that. You can't do that and be taken seriously. And yet, this bitch still sells books. I don't get it. I don't understand what it is. I'm very vulgar today. I'm sorry. Maybe it's something in the coffee. I don't know. So, Ann Coulter, not a good person. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about presidential richness and all sorts of other fun stuff. Between now and then, Facebook me, tweet me, email me, say hi, whatever. Thanks for tuning in. Today is... I mean to do this at the beginning of the show, and I never do. Today is Tuesday, October 23rd, 2012, in the year of our Lord. You've been watching Brewing. I'm Scott Leffler. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.